Can't tell you how many divorces I had as a company commander, how many marriages lost. The statistics that you read are probably on the low end. If your marriage wasn't strong going over there, had no chance of surviving. We got moved into Kuwait and Camp Arif John, and there was 20,000 U.S. and British forces. And then within a couple of days, we started having Scud missile attacks. That's when I had a spiritual experience. You could say that was my first taste of combat. It's been a long time since I prayed, and I talked to Jesus that day, and I said, please don't let today be the last day. And then, you know, Patriot missiles are firing over my head, and things are exploding over the desert, and people are crying, and it's sheer madness. And I just talked to him, and he talked to me. Days before the war, I gave my life over to Christ. I leaned on Christ the whole time I was there. It's the only way to go through the war. And, you know, by the grace of God, you know, I made it home.
When he first came home from Iraq, he was not the same person that he was when he left. He looked completely fine on the outside, but he wasn't fine on the inside. And I don't know if everybody noticed it, but I noticed it. He was distancing himself from us and from the kids, and the fun, outgoing, loving person wasn't there. You know, you came home, you made it home, you're alive, you're healthy, you know, why aren't you happy? I had no idea what PTSD was at the time. And it was putting so much stress on our marriage because I just couldn't understand it.
You can just see the snowball happening. You know, I'm dealing with these issues in my head. I'm dealing with these issues of the war. I just lost my job. I'm thinking about how am I going to provide for my family. I felt the whole weight of the world just crushing and crashing down on me. And I was probably at the lowest point of my life when she said, you need to get help. I'd never seen a psychologist before in my whole life. You know, you talk about some of the things you did over there, some of the things you saw. I didn't want to expose her to all that. I picked up a shovel a couple months ago. I hadn't held a shovel since Iraq. The last time I held a shovel, you know, we were scraping out human bodies, you know, burnt out bus or something like that. And I felt that shovel, and next thing you know, I was back in Iraq. How do you prepare for that? And then I just started really praying and leaning on God. I never asked why, but I just asked, what do you want me to do? You know, what is your will in all this? And Jesus said, just serve me. Come to work for me. So I asked the VA, I said, I'd like to go to seminary and become a pastor. And that doctor came back and said it would be a very lofty goal for Robert to succeed in seminary. And so the folks at the VA looked at that report and said, well, we're going to give you a chance. We're going to give you a chance to go to school. My first semester, I think I made 2 A's. I'm starting my 3rd year now, and I've got 1 more left. And I think I have about a 3.6 GPA. And I give all the credit and all the glory to God. You know, through God, anything is possible. And just look at my life. Just look at my story. I could not do what I do without Christ. He's there with me every step of the way. I think that the church is equipped to handle this epidemic of PTSD that we have in our country. They may not realize it yet, but they are. You can be Christ to somebody. It doesn't take any kind of counseling. It doesn't take any kind of schooling to just sit there and to listen, to hug someone, to open up the Bible and to read it, not to judge. You can be Christ to somebody. That is the advice that I would give to counselors or to any laity in the church who feels a calling into this ministry. You've got to do something. You've got to intervene. Be Christ to someone.